from Studio A at 1 Biloxi Square in beautiful Lake Worth, Texas. Welcome in, everybody, to the Grandpa and Pappy Show. It is nice to have everybody with us the day after Mother's Day. Hope you had a chance to have a little fun with your mom and get to see her after all this quarantine.
Yeah.
I know the barber shops and beauty shops opened up on Friday, so a lot of folks got a chance to get their hair cut and their nails done.
Are you gonna get pretty?
Yeah. They couldn't get me until tomorrow. As a matter of fact, last week I was telling you, Pappy, that Special K and I went out to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Took a picture of me. There it is right there.
Yeah, I've heard rumors of this, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't have to worry about it. Tomorrow, Melinda Caldwell's going to make me all pretty again.
Yeah, well.
And I promise you, by Wednesday's show, I will have a nice, close-cut haircut.
She must think that I'm prettier than you because she's making me wait till the 20th. So.
Well, they ain't no helping you. I mean, face it.
If I ever said there was, I'm beyond
a lot of nice compliments that we got on our show on Mother's Day, which we'll be going over a lot of those coming up here at the end of the show.
And here at Grandpa and Pappy Show, we hope you had a great, great Mother's Day.
Sure do.
Hope you did what you wanted to do that one special day of the year that you can get by with murders.
Yeah. We've got an interesting program today.
We do,
Pappy.
Yeah. We do indeed.
The subject title of today's program is Do Motorcycle Riders Get a Bad Rap? Oh, yeah.
That's sweet noise.
Sweet music to my ears. And
I miss those days. Really.
Yeah, we sure do. I mean, we keep thinking about motorcycle riders and things like this, and the fun I used to have. Karen and I used to have a beautiful Goldwing, and we used to ride everywhere on that thing. But
little highway Cadillac, huh?
Yeah, we got some nice folks sending in pictures of their motorcycles or them on motorcycles, which we'll be showing you throughout the program.
Yeah.
But before we get into
the streets, and as far as bad raps, I think a lot of that's Hollywood and media hype. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Although you do have bad eggs in every crowd, any type of organization, but motorcycle clubs have a tendency to weed those out.
Now I'm going to read this off of my phone here.
Okay.
Because I didn't have a chance to transcribe it, but our buddy Mark from Houston, Texas, Mark Rand, sent in a logical explanation. If you can get Mark to give you a logical explanation.
I'm dying to hear this one.
No, he actually made a lot of sense. He said post-World War II fighters came home used to the adrenaline rush of battle. Many of them were pilots. They started numerous motorcycle gangs to be able to have the freedom, have the adrenaline rush, and work out their PTSD. Now, this led to some pretty rough action, fights, etc., which led to criminal activity in many cases. The Hells Angels and the Banditos were just two of the largest. So motorcycle riders are still seen as rough and tough people, or people wanting to appear rough and tough.
Outlaws, if you will.
I.e. the Harley clubs, leathers, vests, and colors, motorcycle club gang logos, and stuff like that. However, riders don't get near the bad boy or criminal rap they got in the 70s or the 80s.
Well, and that's probably due to the reason they're always having to prove themselves as being a decent group of guys.
That's true.
Just like our buddy Sean and American Steel.
Yeah, which we'll be getting up to here in just a second.
Yeah.
We got some statistics to give to you, but first of all, we want to say thank you to our sponsor down in Odessa, Texas. Your buddies.
Yeah. Lucy and
Marco. Yeah.
Bringing you a great product straight out of Jalisco, Mexico.
Yes, sir.
Called Circulo Tequila.
Yeah, we
Pretty good stuff.
From what you remember.
in more than one way. And I respect this stuff. I've still got a half a jug in my freezer. But
Well, that's a good thing. That's a
yeah,
good
but
thing.
it's good, and we appreciate you guys jumping on board as our sponsor. And if your local spirit shop does not have it, Circulo Tequila, tell them to contact M&L Distributors in Odessa, Texas, and by all means, feel free to tell them that the Grandpa and Pappy Show told you so.
Absolutely.
Good
And
stuff.
you will not regret it, folks. It's good stuff.
See?
It really is.
I mean, Jess.
Getting back to our program, though,
Yeah.
Pappy, let's take a look at some of the statistics and research that we did from the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration.
Oh, boy.
Now, I can lead this off. Motorcycle riders face more serious injuries and fatalities than cars, you think.
Yeah.
Motorcycles made up 14% of all traffic deaths in 2017. That, according to the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration. They also found that annual bike fatalities have been rising over the past few years. Fatalities reached a high of 5,312 in 2008, then dropped to 4,469 in 2009. But that number crept up to 5,286 motorcyclists in 2016, and total annual bike injury saw a similar rise between 2009 and 2016, jumping from 82,000 to 88,000 injuries.
And you know, amigo, I'd probably be willing to bet a solid unbeaten quarter that that number's even higher now.
Wooden head nickel.
You know, and what contributes to the accidents is people do not, I think they're acclimated to not recognizing motorcycles as a form of transportation. The non-rider.
That's very true.
I mean,
very true.
I know, and I'm always looking. I mean, I've got mirrors as big as your head. That's big. That and I look for motorcycle riders because it's
Sure.
a very popular thing, especially in the area we live in. There's a lot of bikers.
Which is nothing wrong with that at
no,
all.
that's not what I'm saying. No, I mean, because hell, I used to ride,
Oh, yeah.
and I've still got grass stains on my ass for proof from sliding across an esplanade or the grassy knoll area. But a lot of people just don't pay attention, and then there are those out there, the crotch rocket boys. I mean, which nothing is wrong with riding a crotch rocket if you like that kind of speed. But when you're flying out the freeway at 120 miles an hour, just to get you jollies, well, that's kind of
Some of
silly.
the people making the comments on today's show, today's show, said basically the same thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a responsibility whether you drive a truck, a car, a motorcycle. Abide by the laws, or bylaws. Most of all, use common sense on that stuff.
That's a fact.
There's that word, those two words, common sense. I mean,
It's scary,
you
isn't
get
it?
out on the boulevard and screw up, you're gonna get run over. That's a fact.
What we were looking at the research, Pappy. Let me ask you, what contributes to motorcycle accidents according to the National Highway Traffic Accident Safety Administration?
Well, drunk driving. They're claiming that nearly a third of all fatal bike accidents happen after riders have been drinking. I tried that one time in Houston.
That's the best place to try that.
Corner of Hillcroft Avenue and Westheimer. This is back in my younger days, back in my single days. Had a couple old gals in a little MG that was flirting with me. I had a pretty nice little bike. Well, it seems as though I forgot to follow proper protocol. I didn't put my feet down when I stopped at the light. That's why
You think?
That's why I never tilted another tequila shot or a beer before I'd crawl on that bad boy. But, it's my bad, my stupid.
You traded in the two-wheeler for a four-wheeler.
Thank God they wasn't driving what I drive out there. I'd have had my head squashed because I fell up against the side of the car and they laughed and took off. So needless to say, there was no partying with the two cute girls in the MG.
I get you.
Yeah.
What else?
Head-on collisions. Frontal collisions factor into more than 75%. That's 75%. That's a big number.
That's high.
Of all motorcycle crashes.
Woo. Lord.
Then you've got left turns. The road can turn into a danger zone when a car makes a left-hand turn, and 42% of all fatal car accidents The other driver was turning left while the biker was either heading straight, passing, or overtaking. And that's probably a low number, I would think.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Then you have the old running into objects, which was one of my downfalls. Around a quarter of motorcycle fatalities happened because the bike crashed after trying to avoid something like a car or an animal on the road. I mean, hell, you could hit a squirrel on a two-wheeler.
You could hit a rock. I mean, even a small pebble can knock you off balance.
Or people mowing their yards and failing to blow the grass off the streets.
Yeah,
that is a biggie. That's
biggie.
like hitting an ice patch. Exceeding the speed limit. Some 32% of motorcycle accidents that resulted in death involved speeding.
Wow.
So, yep.
We'll give you some more statistics here in just a second. Pardon me.
Excuse me.
But we turn to our old buddy, Sean Paul Rigg.
Yeah.
Pardon me if I can
Mr.
ever
Big.
get this squirrel out of my throat. Sean is the president of the local American Steel Motorcycle Club.
Represent.
Yes, sir.
Represent.
We're not members of the club.
A great group
But
of guys.
we bought the T-shirts
good man.
because they were raising money
Yeah.
for one of their charitable things that they do. He gave us some great insights, Pappy, on clubs and what they do.
He's a very knowledgeable fellow, Sean.
Now, let me give you a little background on Sean. Sean is a former Navy Seabee, a certified instructor to teach concealed handgun certification.
That's who I got my certification from.
So did Karen. And
Scary thought.
he's a friend to a lot of the people in this area because he's, quite frankly, a very smart young man.
Yeah.
Sean is the kind of guy you'd want to have, Pappy, covering your back while you walk down a
Anytime.
dark alley. You know, there's a good picture of Sean right there behind us.
He's a very much no nonsense kind of guy.
Now, I frankly asked him point blank I asked him the question on today's topic, and he gave a great and logical explanation.
Yeah.
Now, this is the statement. Sorry, the allergies are killing me today.
They're nasty today.
This is the statement that he gave to me. He said, first off, every person who is not a motorcyclist have their reasons to dislike us, whether it be envy, or we get through traffic while they sit there pissed off, a biker stole their girlfriend, and, of course, what law enforcement spews to the public.
Absolutely, yeah.
He says, I'm a traditional three-piece motorcycle club, or he's in it.
Yeah.
The club world has its foundations based on respect. That's the name of the game.
Right.
Guys in real motorcycle clubs live their lives either with or without their cuts on. I'm presuming he's talking about the leathers.
Yeah, that and patches, yeah.
Yeah. So he says your average citizen walks through life covered with the blanket of security that society provides for them.
Right.
They will run their mouths, and when they've had enough, they call the cops.
That's
He
a
says,
fact, yeah.
I also think there is a jealousy there of our secretive nature. We mind our own business and expect everyone else to do the same. We are sons, husbands, fathers, and grandfathers. Most of us have careers. Most of us have no criminal records. I said most of us because in every group there are bad apples. The stigma placed on club guys are usually sensationalized by the media from what they are fed by law enforcement. If we're talking about bad apples, he says, law enforcement has approximately 1 million officers in this country and have a higher percentage of criminal acts than 3.1 million bikers.
And let me step in here. That is a true statement. I don't know about how actual the numbers are, but knowing Sean, he knows what the hell he's talking about. But that will stir the stink pop up with the sheeples of America.
Yeah.
Because all bikers are thugs and outlaws, which is just not true. It's
That's
not
true. That's true. He went on to say, Pappy, that I believe the problem lies within the law enforcement sector. They hate us. But as much as they hate us, they want to be us. Law enforcement clubs are huge. They want to harass us during the week, but join us on the weekends. Incidents like Waco 5 years ago have brightened the spotlight on motorcycle clubs.
Yeah.
When it was all said and done, though, 0 convictions of any bikers involved. When the autopsy results were released, 9 bikers were found to be accurately shot by accurately placed law enforcement rifles, strategically placed at Twin Peaks. That type of media hysteria vilified every biker in Texas.
Well said. Yeah.
He also said TV shows like Sons of Anarchy, Mayans Motorcycle Club, or MC, or Gangland shows that feature several 1% motorcycle clubs have persuaded the public opinion to label all guys in clubs as criminals. And he concluded by saying, "We have a family, not together by blood and DNA, but together from trust and like-minded individuals who actually love each other all the way to the gallows."
You know, that's very well said, Sean. I mean, there's a guy with a good understanding about what not only being organized is about, but being organized with people you have a lot in common with. I mean, there's so many people that I know that came out of a bad family raising, changed their ways, or just simply just withdrew from society because of all the rhetoric bullshit that's going on with laws that they don't understand, or they do. I'm sorry, that you do understand but disagree with, which I've teeter-tottered on that pretty much most of my life, as you probably will know, because you know me that well.
Yeah.
And they just, and they will go to an organization or a group of brothers that they have something in common with. And they bond, just like Sean said, they bond not by DBA, but by trust, by heart.
That's very true.
And
You walk. You're sitting at a bar or something. Let's just take the field office for example.
Okay.
And sometimes when Sean and his fellow riders come in, they have their vest on, shirts, their blue jeans, and their boots. And you can look at some of the diners in there that look at them kind of funny. But let me ask you a question. Is this any different, showing their loyalty to something, than, say, you and I wearing a Texas or a Texas Tech jersey or a T-shirt showing how much we, are really loyal to this? Is that any different?
Not at all.
And how many come into the field office, friends of ours that have on their cowboy jerseys, have beards, stuff like this?
What are you trying to say?
No different than the guys coming in who are in the American Steel Motorcycle Club.
And that's what makes me respect, in this example, since we're talking about Sean and American Steel, his club.
Yeah.
I have never seen one incident unless it was brought to them.
Right.
And it's like any organization that you're true to. You screw with one, you can screw the whole club.
Well, yeah.
Because I'm sure they've had talks. We will not tolerate. They've got rules. They've got regulations.
Well, it's the same. It's the same way with us. I mean,
exactly.
We've known each other now for quite a while, and we respect each other and think of each other as brothers. You mess with Pappy, you're going to be messing with me, and vice versa.
And vice versa, yeah.
We don't bring it on, but if you bring it on, we're going to take it on.
Well, and I think that's where they got, prime example, the Rolling Stones concert with the Hells Angels.
Yeah.
Somebody had to be provoked. I'm sure it was one of these moose-sized dudes. It was about 340 pounds and 6'11".
Maybe had a little bit too much beer.
Yeah, somebody probably made a wrong remark, screwed with him, and he might have thumped him on the head, told him to be respectful, and then the whole damn stadium breaks out in a bunch of crap. People got shot and all. Blah 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 blah. I mean, it's
like somebody opened the gate.
It's not a bit different than any other organization.
We got some good comments in. Let's give a few of those before we give a little bit more of the statistics.
Well, Brother George Schultz, who's another writer.
Oh yeah,
good man. Said that the bad rap is the idiot that rides and acts in a way to give others a bad image. it only takes a few to make us all look bad. And that's very well said. It's very profound, George.
It really is.
It
I mean,
is.
that kind of puts it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Jimmy Waldy of Houston said it depends on the rider. He said, I've ridden my whole life, and my challenge is people driving the cars.
Ain't it so?
They don't always see bike riders. I believe the brain is accustomed to seeing larger items and will not process some smaller things like motorcycles and bicycles.
You know, and I agree with that, Jimmy. I really do.
Jimmy's a smart fella.
Yeah.
Jimmy's a smart fella.
Well, he's still riding the bike, still living, so he must know how to do it. Thanks for sending that in, by the way, Jim. Andy Cummings said every time one of those punk kids are doing wheelies on the freeway on their speed bikes, which we've got a few of them around here.
A few. That's exactly what I was fixing to say.
They are out there. Everyone just automatically thinks all motorcyclists are nuts. Those of us who have been riding all our lives know how to drive our bikes safely and within the law.
That's saying it like it is.
Yeah.
Let's see. William Brown says he's a retired physician and has been a member of a motorcycle club for over 25 years. He says he can't count how many ways his club helped out the community with things like Christmas gifts,
Absolutely.
food, home repair, and yes, I even made house calls to examine citizens in need. The perception of the motorcyclists in general is somewhat muddled by the public, but most clubs are honest, hard-working men and women who want to feel like they're a part of something.
And I concur.
Doc?
Very well said.
Doc Brown. That's pretty well putting it in a nutshell right there.
Absolutely. Miranda Walker says she loves riding motorcycles, making trips with other cyclists, and enjoying the camaraderie that it brings. She said it sure relieves the stress of her 8 to 5 p.m. job.
And really, I mean, you stop and think about that.
It is therapy, that's for sure.
That is therapy. I mean, how many people do you see on a motorcycle, but they're working, 8 to 5, 8 to 6, some even more than that. But when the weekend comes, they want to relax, blow off the stress.
Get out and get a little wind therapy or highway
Wind therapy is
whatever you
putting
wanna
it
label
great. I love that.
Yeah, I love some wind therapy.
A.C. Newman, Pappy of Oklahoma, said he is not worried about him following the law and safety rules while he is riding, but scared as hell of those who are driving cars.
Yeah.
Takes the fun out of it. Now, let me stop here just a second. I was telling you,
Not a challenge.
I was telling you that a Special K and I had a beautiful Honda Goldwing that was all decked out. Boy, you could see us for the lights, especially at night. There was no missing us, but I found myself there at the last before we sold the bike, Pappy. When you're driving down on the highway or the street, you can't really enjoy the thrill of the ride because you have your eyes focused down the road. You're wondering about the car on your left or your right. What are you going to do if they swerve in front of you? What are you going to do if the car... It just got to be such a hassle of having to continuously think about what everybody else was going to do that it took the fun plumb out of it for me.
Yeah, and that's why back the few times that I used to just get out and get my windshield or my wind therapy on, I loved going up to the hill country. I got to where I wouldn't even ride in town.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I mean, Houston, hello. But, I mean, I have, very successfully. Thank God I didn't get run over. But I respected the fact that I was on a road bike. But we'd get out and go riding in the hills.
Sure.
Up by Wimberley, New Braunfels.
Sure.
That area up in the hill country in Texas, for those of y'all that aren't familiar with it.
Well, you must have read the last comment. Go ahead.
Yeah. But we loved it. We loved it. There's a pic from when Jordan and I was up in Milwaukee. We went to the Harley Davidson Museum. Had us a good time. Perry C. wrote on YouTube that his entire family loves to ride motorcycles, and that they take frequent trips together and all the hills they have to offer. He says they have a family leather vest and they wear it when they're riding together, and that's cool.
Well, that's what we were
pretty cool.
talking about a while ago. You know, actually, what's so wrong with them wearing a leather vest to show their loyalty to the club when we wear Cowboy or Texas Tech paraphernalia, and a lot of us have beards just like they do.
Right.
What makes them so different from us?
And I've even
They
worn,
ride a motorcycle, and we didn't.
I've even worn my TT jersey into bars down 6th Street and all over Austin. I've got a few comments, but
I'm sure you did.
then again, I managed to squeeze a few back out. But I never got beat up for wearing it. I mean, it's a Texas school.
Just don't go up to Oklahoma.
Yeah, they kick your ass
Yeah,
up there
I
wearing a
don't.
Texas Tech or a
I
Longhorn
don't. I
shirt.
don't wear my Longhorn shirt when I cross that Red River. That's for sure.
Probably not as
Back
smart
to
as you.
the statistics. The National Transportation Safety Administration says, why are motorcycles so dangerous? I think we've kind of covered that a lot, but I'm going to kind of go over it again.
Right.
Driver inexperience. They say high-risk drivers are riders that lack experience but engage in risky behavior can crash more often than not.
Yep.
And plus, they have less protection. They have road hazards they got to worry about. Motorcycles don't absorb bumps or surface changes as well as cars. Plus, road debris can trip up a bike more easily. Plus, road stability. You know, sometimes when you have that road like that, you know. But our great state of Texas does do a little bit of the road repair.
Yeah.
And, I was kind of wondering, Pappy, what is the safest type of motorcycles that they say you can get to ride?
Well, it looks goofy if you build a damn roll cage around one, but
They listed them.
I haven't caught up with that. I don't think
Here, I'll give you mine.
anything with 3 wheels on it I can dig. But I'm an old fart, What can I say?
There you go.
Standard. They claim one is a standard, which though they might not offer the most safety tech, you won't be tempted by the speed, style, and agility of a sport bike.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Cruisers, which is what I'm digging.
Oh, yeah.
That's a way to do it. That and touring bikes, casual rides for comfort and style, but with a toned down engine. Can't have a toned down. You gotta have that oomph when you need it. Just
Well, sure you do.
in case you got to get the hell out of somebody.
Yes. Yes.
Big old road bike.
Big old Honda Goldwing 1500, which at that time was what was it, Karen, a 25th anniversary edition?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe you're right.
It was beautiful.
These motorcycles tend to have wide screens and extra features for longer rides and added safety on the road. But did have a built-in bar or a TV screen.
Or a six-pack or a waitress to go, so.
Well, mine usually had a spot for a 6-pack, at least. Maybe
My Goldwing did. Had several compartments.
Maybe a jug and a shot glass or two.
But
on the
I
other side.
never drank and drove my motorcycle. I
You're
never
a
did.
smart man. I tried it one time. It just did not
know,
work.
you
Then
were
you've got
saying.
your dual sport bikes. Their own and off-road features may provide extra stability. Just don't use them for extreme sports, trail adventures, or showy highway riding, or you risk safety. And that's applicable to any bike.
Right? That's a
Anything,
fact.
even a pedal bike.
Now, these statistics are not ours, ladies and gentlemen. They come from the National Highway Safety Traffic Safety Administration.
Yep.
We do not make these up. We look them up and we quote them and give them full
Credit for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But anyway, as we wrap up this portion, we just want to say, all you motorcyclists out there, we know you enjoy it. We love you guys. American Steel, Thank you very much, Sean. Thank you
bet.
for yours.
Thank you, Sean, and all your group. Y'all are a great
Y'all
group
are
of
great.
guys, and we love you to death, man.
A lot of charity work that they do around the
Oh,
area.
they do. Yeah, they do a lot of good work.
Let's, before we close out the program, get to some of the viewer comments
Okay.
that we have. So go ahead and lead us off here.
Jennifer Hoopengarner Thomas
Mm-hmm.
said, "Great job to all three of us on our Mother's Day show."
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. Yeah.
Yep. Gigi Carter said thank you very much, and that she enjoyed our Mother's Day special show. She says thank you for helping me show how much I love my mom. I wish she was here.
Yeah. Don't we all?
Yeah.
Corey Hurley said, "Awesomeness. Thanks for the invitation to join our podcast show, and thanks for the positive side of the people that I care for." You can catch Corey on his podcast show, Corey Dale Hurley.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending that in. We'll
Absolutely.
definitely check that show out and give you a thumbs up and subscribe.
Tommy P. says on Twitter that portions of the Mother's Day show brought a lump to his throat.
Oh, yeah.
He said he lost his mom on April 12th of 2020.
Oh, wow.
He said the video at the end of the show was straight up awesome.
That's,
it was.
that's what put the lump in my throat.
Yeah. We had to clean this next one up
Brian
quite a
Gaston.
bit.
Brian Gaston of Louisiana, said that if the effers in cars would just quit taking on phones or kissing their girlfriends, would be safer and better off. But talking to those morons is like talking to those morons is like talking to a 2x4 post.
Ain't it so?
Our
And
post,
that was cleaned up a lot, folks. Trust me.
our post in Texas have common sense. Okay.
Albert Thompson said kudos for Mother's Day show. Really made me miss my mom, who has been gone for 8 years, and to appreciate her even more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Margaret H. says she is new to our podcast. Welcome aboard, Margaret. We appreciate you for jumping in. She says she watched the Mother's Day show and was loving it so much, she went on our website and subscribed to our YouTube channel.
Thank you.
She says she's now going to watch all the past shows since her kids live out of state, and she will have no one at her home on Sunday.
Well, we hope, Margaret, you had a chance to watch the programs, and hopefully you had a nice day yesterday. We're thinking of you.
Yeah, you should have came up and spent the day with Helen now. That 3.5 hour wait at Texas Roadhouse, we could have got to know each other. So,
Ain't it so? Ain't
but
it
yeah,
so?
but thank you for that, and we're only happy to have you aboard. So.
Our podcast numbers are growing. We appreciate that very much.
They are.
If you have a comment or a subject on your next show,
Or even a complaint.
yeah,
Send
So-
it directed to Jack,
yeah, right.
to Grandpa.
Yeah, send it
Attention, Grandpa. I
to
have a complaint.
our email address at grandpaandpappy@gmail.com.
Or you can hit us up directly on our website. We have a Grandpa and Pappy website.
Right.
That address is www.grandpa, the letter N, grandpaandpappy.com.
Yep, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. They are very easy.
Hit the big red button.
You know, Pappy, coming up on our next show, we really want your comments on this one.
Yeah.
Because the subject of the next show is living in the shadow of our country's enormous debt.
Wow.
So we want you to send in your comments for us.
That'll be a doozy.
Hey, before we sign off here, I really want to give credit to Bulldog Willis for our intro music.
Kenny
Brian
Bulldog.
Emerton
We
does
love
a
you,
lot
brother.
of the outro music for our program. And today, Jordan Sisk, writer, composer, and musician who gave us permission to use his music, will be doing the music for the outtakes or the credits for this program. We want to say thank you very much, guys. Y'all are so
Yes, we do.
talented.
You guys rock.
We couldn't do it without you.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate that very much. Thanks again to our
Keep them cards and letters coming in.
thanks again to our sponsor. And we
Circuito.
appreciate them. Thanks to Palmore Realty, a subsidiary of Remax Trinity, for the use of Studio A.
And last but not least, the wonderful Special K, our producer, technical person.
Bingo. Bingo. Couldn't do it without it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed today's show. We'll see you back on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Until then, and I get a haircut, We shall see you later. We love you. Take care and salute.
That's right. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.